What up, fam? Do you need some extra tools that's going to help your life be the best that it can possibly be? Are you constantly juggling work, family, and personal time only to feel drained and unfulfilled? That's where the book that I wrote called The Balanced Life can be your guide to reclaiming your time, energy, and happiness with practical strategies for setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and achieving real balance. This book helps you create a life that you love without the burnout. Get ready to break free from the chaos and step into a life of purpose and peace. Grab your copy of The Balanced Life because you deserve a life that works for you. Also, we have The Unraveling. It's a journal to help you write, reflect, and heal. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings deserve space. The Unraveling Journal is more than just a notebook. It's your personal guide to self-reflection, healing, and growth. With guided prompts, mindfulness exercises, and room to express yourself freely, this journal helps you untangle emotions, process life's challenges, and rediscover clarity. Take a moment for you. Write, reflect, and heal, one page at a time. And fam, also another book written by my wife is Healthy Relationships. Because fam, you know this. Great relationships don't just happen. They're built. Whether it's with your partner, kids, friends, or co-workers, strong connections are the foundation of a happy life. In healthy relationships, you'll learn how to communicate better, set healthy boundaries, and nurture trust in every relationship that matters to you. Because when your connections thrive, you thrive. Start building stronger, healthier relationships today. Order your copy at kingdomservantsfirst.com. Once again, that's kingdomservants1st.com. Fam, we want you to be the best version of yourself. Get one of these books today. God bless. Fam, when those situations come up, not if, when those situations come up, I already have enough love for myself to carry me through this. Not saying it ain't going to be hard. Remember, we talked about that. Not saying we ain't going to have quite a few difficulties in our lifetime. But when you have the difficulty, it does not have to be bad as everybody else's if I'm doing the preventive maintenance up front. Because one of my favorite top 10 statements for me is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Family, what's up? Welcome to the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we desire for you to take the bits of information and immediately apply them to your life for success. The ground rules for our podcast is that it will always be encouraging, uplifting, and informative. The areas of life that we'll be talking about on the Bacon Bits Podcast is dealing with having a balanced life. And I need to hear y'all say it. Say valuable. Information applied equals success. And family, this is one of those episodes that's truly near and dear to my heart. This is to all my nephews out there. So this is a men's episode. Ladies, you still listen in because you can just glean in on what most men need to hear but don't get a chance to hear in their lifetime. Because as men, most of the time, not all the time, but it really is most of the time, we're not intentional about teaching our young men how to be men. So that's one of the things that I wish we would do more often, and part of me getting a chance to speak in the young men's lives, whether it's at the rehab or in the psych ward or wherever it may be. I love giving out bits of information that young men can apply to their lives so they can have a phenomenal life. The information I usually give is for everybody, but this one is specifically for men, and this is a great one for women to listen to. So guess what? They can have they men, get their stuff together so they can have a great life. So this is to all my nephews. This is for my young men out there in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And this is some of the stuff that I wish I would have heard when I was growing up. Some stuff that like I said, it don't alleviate the stuff you go through, but it's good to know this stuff in advance so you can be prepared for it. Because I'd rather for you to be prepared for it than for it to just hit you out of nowhere and it's a catastrophe in your life when it shouldn't have to be. So point number one I want to make, man, is you will be disappointed and heartbroken multiple times in your life, but it's how you respond that matters. I'm going to say it again that way, and I'm going to change it up. You will be disappointed and heartbroken multiple times in your life, but it's how you respond that matters. And then I just happened to be in my morning devotional this morning, which just made me triggered to know that this is the right lane to go in. And it told me disappointments are inevitable. Discouragement is a choice. Disappointments are inevitable, but discouragement is a choice. Fam, you're going to go through significant changes in your lives in your 20s and 30s. For me, it was just trying to figure me out in my 20s. Didn't have no game plan, didn't have no vision for my future. And this is one thing I'm praying you would get, nephews, as y'all hear this, is to really sit down and figure out what is it for the life that I have. However long that may be, some of us, we this might be the last episode we'd hear, and some of us, guess what, we're gonna live some decades. And that's beautiful. But if I know I'm gonna have multiple disappointments in my life, how do I respond? First of all, it's usually according to your personality. It's usually according to your values and your ambitions, that we need to make sure that we lining up what it is that is coming up against us. So instead of dwelling on the past for years, and Lord knows we can do that. I did a lot of that, when it came to my dad not being in my life and all that. Or I could really sit down in this moment and figure out, okay, what values do I want to have for the rest of my life? What values do I want to have for the rest of my life, man? And y'all know my 5 key areas I always talk about, financially. If I want to be financially secure, you know what? Let me be super consistent in my savings. Don't let a check go by that you don't put a little bit of something to the side for your savings. Because it ain't a matter of if you're going to have financial difficulties in your life. It's just a matter of when, Van. Literally, with the economy going the way it is right now, and people are struggling with their finances, man, it's so important that I can't get caught up in my feelings and emotions. It's the consistency of knowing, let me put money to the side. So when the car breaks down, when I might have a health issue, when my kids might need something out of the ordinary, like I said, when something breaks down, man, are you prepared? Do I need to go fly back to go see my mom or dad? Somebody I love, going through some, health issues. What is that thing I can have some money set aside for that, and I don't have to stress when that situation comes up? Because like I said, it's going to be multiple times. But guess what? If I got the finances already set aside, it won't hit me as hard as the average individual that's not, putting those savings away and stuff like that. You will have disappointments in relationships. Man, you're going to get your heart broke. Most of us that's listening to this, guess what, have already had our heart broke or are going through some heartbreak at the moment. More than likely, I don't have to get hit as hard as the average individual if I pour love into myself, knowing that I'm appreciated and I'm worthy of all the love that I'm supposed to get in life, and everybody deserves that. So when the divorce goes through, when we have a tendency to break up, we can catch ourselves and say, you know what, I invested a great deal of time in that relationship. It didn't work out, but I'm still me. Nothing has changed in that. I still love me. I can still encourage me. I can still lift me up. I can still build me up. I think that's super important, that because we always say to love others as you love yourself. Fam, when those situations come up, not if, when those situations come up, I already have enough love for myself to carry me through this. Not saying it ain't going to be hard. Remember, we talked about that. Not saying we ain't going to have quite a few difficulties in our lifetime. But when you have the difficulty, it does not have to be bad as everybody else's if I'm doing the preventive maintenance up front. Because one of my favorite top 10 statements for me is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I'm going to say that again. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I really, truly believe if we did the little things on a consistent basis, like I said, when, not if, when heartbreaking and disappointing times come up, it won't have to be as bad because you have prepared yourself financially. You've prepared yourself, relationally. You've prepared yourself, physically. I am super grateful that at 58, as of right now, as I'm, doing this podcast, I'm blessed to not have any aches and no pains. And I'm super grateful for the health that I have. And I understand that a lot of people my age or even younger don't have the health that I have. And so I really think back to all that preventive maintenance of working out, taking care of myself, and eating right from the time I was 18 till now has truly paid off. And when I do have moments, because I've passed out and fainted 6 times in my lifetime, 5 times from dehydration because I was just working out so hard and I was sweating so profusely that I passed out. But the last time I passed out, guess what, fam? There was no sweat. So it made me, really take an inventory of, okay, what do I need to be doing so that this doesn't happen again? And fortunately, so far, it's been a blessing that it hasn't happened again. But it goes back to all of that time that I was taking care of myself. It kept me so when that blow hit, it wasn't devastating. It was bad, but it wasn't devastating. So you have to ask yourself those times when we're going through the things that we go through. Like I said, you're going to have multiple times you're going to be disappointed. When those happen, can I at least be prepared for most of them so that it's not as detrimental? It's not that bad of a blow when I actually have to go through it. So we can do some preventive maintenance because, fam, I'm telling you, you're going to go through stuff in life. That's big. To all my nephews out there, I ain't got no problem telling you, and I would say this to your face if I seen you. Stop watching porn. Yes, gentlemen, stop watching porn. Nephews, stop watching porn. Why is that important? Because porn is a complete waste of time. And it teaches you how to degrade women. I'm going to say it again. Porn is a completely waste of time. And it degrades women. Because what ends up happening is you have this perception of how this woman is supposed to look, how she's supposed to perform. And when that doesn't happen, you are butthurt and then go back to looking at porn again. And you're setting your relationships up for disaster when you do this. Because you're putting women in a certain category. They're supposed to do this and do that because those actors did those things. And you're thinking your girl's supposed to do those things. If you don't intentionally stop doing that, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Brothers, I know deep in my heart and deep in your heart, you want to have a phenomenal relationship. I know you do. There's no question in my mind. And so if you want to have that, you have got to stop looking at porn. Porn is instant gratification. If I am having lovemaking sessions with my queen, guess what? It's going to take time. And it should take time. Because I'm big on making sure you take care of her first before you take care of you. What you say? I'm going to say it again. You should take care of her first before you take care of you. Because what ends up happening when people are watching pornography, fam, you're desensitizing yourself to real sex, which involves love, listening, and presence. But if you're thinking about, I just need to get my rocks off, brothers, fam, you've left her just sitting there, not hugging, not cuddling, not kissing, all of that. It was all about you. And it's important that you recognize that, fam, this pornography is a waste of time. It prevents men from discovering deeper levels of intimacy with a woman. So, brothers, nephews, I'm going to say it again. Make sure you are staying away from pornography, man. You're setting yourself up for disaster. You're setting yourself up from having long-lasting relationships if you are doing that. Brothers, I want you to have your best life ever. I want your eyes to just glisten. I want your skin to glow when you look at your woman and say, man, that's my baby girl right there. That's my sweetness. That's my love. That's my heart. I want you to be able to look at her and always have that in your heart. Will you always be agreeable on anything and everything? No, you won't. But fam, there's nothing like knowing that this is the love of my life and I want to be with her for the rest of my life. And I don't want my distractions of having, thoughts pop up in my head of what she should be doing when, guess what, I've put up unrealistic expectation on her because of my pornography use. So, fam, please do me a favor, brothers. Stop watching the pornos, man. Stop watching the pornos. Nephews, excessive partying is nothing more than a desire to escape your reality. And it creates more problems that you need to solve in the end. Fam, ain't nothing wrong with going out and having a good time every now and then. Ain't nothing wrong with being around your people, man, and enjoying life, man. You've worked hard. You've done the things that you need to do, and you need to celebrate. I do firmly believe that. But when I'm doing excessive partying, I got to ask myself the question, what am I running from that I don't want to face, that I need to face? Because, once again, instant gratification, that party for a couple of hours is detrimental to, guess what? Me not taking care of some business that I need to take care of. Guess what? My job ain't where it needs to be at, where I want it to be at. And so I'm out doing excessive partying just to make it through. Guess what? I want to have this party on Friday or Saturday so I can make it through the work week. Excessively? Yeah, I told you enjoy yourself, but I got to ask myself the real question of how is my job doing? How's the career that I'm working in? How is that going? Because if I'm excessive partying, guess what? I'm running from something. The relationships that you're in. Are the relationships that you are in nurturing and growing? Or are they just temporary satisfaction? The relationships that you're in, when I'm doing excessive partying, fam, what am I running from that I need to deal with? I am not happy with where my life is at. And I'm trying to constantly cover it up by going out and, putting up these posts on, I'm partying hard. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm hanging out with the fellas. I'm with my girls and all that. But then I look at my life. Am I running from taking care of my babies? Told you, every now and then go out and enjoy yourself, man. You need some adult conversation, some adult time to get away. But fam, when it's excessive, I really want to ask myself the question, what is it that I'm running from? Because I'm doing excessive drinking, excessive drugs, staying out late at night because I don't want to deal with what I need to deal with in my life. I can take that same energy and apply that to something that's going to make me have a better future for my life. So you want to ask yourself, why am I doing this thing with excessive partying? Next one, pursue your passions, brothers. There is something God has gifted you to do that can't nobody do what you do like you do it. Pursue that passion. There's a reason God gifted you to do that thing that can't nobody else do what you do like you do it. Man, when I'm on this mic, man, when I'm in front of a class of people and I'm teaching them, man, how to have a better life, man, that thing just, it's like an adrenaline rush that drugs could never fulfill. And I've done the drugs, I've done the drinking, and nothing like pursuing my passion and doing what I love to do keeps me as high with the endorphins and the serotonin, man, that my body needs to accomplish what I need on a consistent basis. So do me a favor, man. There's some things that you really want to do that you're gifted to do. Now, there's a difference between the talent and there's a difference between the gifting. I'm talented at singing. I like to sing a little bit. But, fam, what I'm really passionate about, is getting on this mic, teaching people. I'm that average, everyday Joe dude. I'm not the multimillionaire person yet, Lord willing. I don't have decades upon decades of a wonderful marriage. We've been married 16 years, and I'm grateful for that, man. And it does keep getting better because we're aging like a fine wine. The health is beautiful, man. I ain't no bodybuilder. I don't count all my calories, but I'm in pretty decent shape, and I love that. And all that stems from me being passionate about those areas in my life, me constantly learning. I don't ever want to stop learning. My mom's 93 years old and she kicking it strong, man. And she'll tell you in a heartbeat, man, she does a lot of reading. She does a lot of puzzles. I just started doing a lot more reading and puzzles because of the key ingredients my mom gave me, and I'm trying to be around as long as God sees fit for me to be here. And I want to be healthy at doing it. I don't want to just be struggling and barely making it. So part of doing that is, guess what? I'm following my passion. Following my passion gives me energy. It gives me a drive. It gives me a desire to want to live my best life. But man, if you're just existing, fam, if you're just working at a job to make ends meet, Whoo, man, you talking about your energy level getting zapped? Fam, it's got to get to the point where this thing is what I wake up in the morning desiring to do. This is the thing that lets me lay my head down at night and knowing that I shot my shot today and living my best life that God gave me. Man, there's nothing like living your passion, nephews. So please do me a favor, shoot your shot. And if it don't work out, man, I have no problem telling you, even though it feels like you failed, you didn't fail. Because at least you can look back over your life and say, I shot my shot. Because I always say this, fam, the only thing worse than losing or not getting the shot made is not taking the shot. Take the shot, shoot your shot. Because, man, there's nothing more. I'd rather lose than to have regret. You know, and I always give y'all my little example, man. I wanted to play basketball. Tried out for high school basketball team, got cut. Tried out for college, got cut. Went to the community college here in Tucson, got cut. And I was like, okay, basketball ain't my thing. So then I tried to do singing, turned in my demo, sent all of them in, and that's just what now I'll sing every now and then here and there and at the bars and doing karaoke and stuff like that. And I thought that was gonna be the road. That wasn't it. But soon as I hit that 30, and I found out God gave me the gift to teach, man, these last 28 years of my life have been phenomenal because I'm following my passion, I'm following the dreams and goals of what I have to do. And man, it is beautiful. And if you got to first start off doing it part-time, you know, on the weekends or a couple of hours, you know, at night after you get off your job, fam, do that. But make sure you're doing something and you're building into something that can be just everlasting until you like almost leave this earth. You can do that thing that you've been blessed to do. So that is really huge. Another point, my brothers, is I really want you to think about is stop chasing happiness. Stop chasing it. First of all, I want you to start having gratitude for what you already have right now. Stop chasing happiness, okay? Because happiness is if everything is going good, I'm happy. If everything ain't going good, I'm not happy. And that's why as a child of God, joy is what we look for because God blessed you with the spirit of joy in you already. And what we need to do is be super appreciative of for where life is at right now. Because I can tell you from experience, man, ain't no amount of validation or materialism that's going to help you feel grateful for where you at right now. It's having nice things, beautiful. Oh, yes, I ain't going to lie to you on that. Getting a chance to travel around the world. A couple of times I've traveled around the world. Man, there's nothing like that. Man, having a great day at my job and knowing that you said a few words to somebody's life that helped them get on the right track of where they need to be at. Beautiful. But fam, if I'm not happy with the state of where I'm at in my life right now, I got to ask myself the question, what's going to make me happy? You know, they say money can't buy you happiness. It can help you a little bit now. Don't get me wrong. Money can do that. It can't buy you total happiness. Let's make that clear. But I ain't going to lie to you and say money can't bring you no happiness. But it goes back to how much money is enough. How much money is enough? If I'm looking at my happiness in that, or am I looking at, man, am I living my best life and saying, man, you know what? I'm happy with where God blessed me at and where I'm at right now. Because one of the greatest scriptures in the Bible is godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain. So to continue to pursue the life that God desires for me to have, to be like Jesus, but also being content with where I'm at. Then I don't mean don't strive for the next level of where you're trying to go in your life. Because I'm always, trying to do tweaks here to make my health better, make my marriage better, relationship with my kids better, finances better, all that. But fam, if I can't be happy with where I'm at, I'm always going to be looking for the next. Always looking for the next. Should I be doing something to help me become a better person? Yes, indeed. But if this thing I was looking forward to, the destination, don't bring me to happiness, guess what? I just messed up the whole journey trying to get there because I wanted that end result. I should be enjoying the whole journey while I'm on it to get to where I need to be at. Because if you're not happy with what you have or what you do, the future going to be the same way. If you're not happy with what you have and what you do right now, more than likely the future is going to be the same way. So let me sit down and stop and say, you know what, man, I got a lot to be grateful for. Man, my health is good, man. You know, I got people in my life that love me and I appreciate them and they appreciate me. I got a job I get to go to, man, and get to use the gift that God gave me. Man, I got a lot of things to be grateful for. So I don't want to chase happiness. I want to enjoy life as it is right now, where I'm at, but pursuing what it is I feel in my heart God has led me to do. Nephews, your body gonna change with age, and your mindset needs to change too. I'm gonna say it again, brothers. Your body gonna change with age, and your mindset needs to adjust too. You're not superhuman. You're going to need to change that mindset to adjust to the developing health that you have, the sustainable health that you have. Because, brothers, as I'm getting older, I always love using the illustration because I still work out 2 to 3 times a week. I stretch every day. I'm trying to eat to the best when I'm not having my little breakdown moments. And definitely making sure I get my sleep every night because I don't want to be irritable and grouchy at people around me if I ain't got my sleep. But it goes back to, family, I'm aging. The muscles ain't defined as they used to be. And it is what it is. You know, it ain't like life had told me a lie and said, you're going to always be super strong, super healthy. So life didn't tell me that. Life has said you're aging, you're getting older, and you have to adjust your mindset to pursue the current goals that you have. Guess what? Your boy can't run no 100-meter dash that fast. Your boy can't bench press no 300 pounds no more. And I'm cool with that. But it's knowing that, guess what? I had to adjust my mindset not to get frustrated and get down and depressed because I can't do what I used to do. I take care of my health the best way I can, and I still make it a priority so that I can live a long, prosperous life. You know what I always say it. I love the desire and shooting for being a healthy 100. Like I said, if God sees fit to take me home earlier, I'll be cool with that because I get to go be with my Lord and Savior Jesus. But in the meantime, in between time, while I'm down here, I am pursuing growing old gracefully, growing old and having the joy that I should have with enjoying and cherishing every moment that I still have on this planet. To do the things that, guess what, I feel in my heart God has called for me to do. But knowing that I can't go as fast as I used to. I don't have the energy that I used to, and to adapt to the health that I have. Like I said, we ain't getting down to depression. Y'all know me, I'm Mr. Positive, Mr. Encouraging. But it's also called, I'm an opto-realist. I'm real, I'm optimistically, being happy and positive and encouraging. But it's also telling you the truth of, as what you're aging, the realities of life is you're going to get older. So, brothers, make good decisions in your health now. And I'm talking from experience, it will carry you on into your 40s, 50s, and beyond. Make good health decisions and make them as a value. Make them as a lifestyle. Don't make it as a diet plan where you're just doing them for 2 or 3 months and then you stop doing it. Get to the point where it's a lifestyle of how you're doing it so that you can live your best life. Nephews, stop embracing your own. Start to embrace your own uniqueness, your swag. Start embracing that and stop trying to be like other brothers. Please stop doing that. God gifted you the way he gifted you. So stop trying to make your personality like somebody else's personality. You are uniquely and wonderfully made. You are made in the image and likeness of God. He didn't make no mistake when he made you. All we need to do is sit down and discover how God created us to be. How God created us to be. Can I admire other men's giftings, callings, and talents? Yes, I can. I can admire them. But I'm not going to beat myself up because I'm not that person. I'll be like, man, God, you blessed that brother to do that thing well. And let me make sure if I see him to give him kudos. Guess what? I can send him a text message or I can send him a post on social media or something that says, you know what, brother, I'm proud of you and I'm encouraging you to keep on doing what you're doing because you're inspiring me. But it's also knowing don't lose yourself in the process of understanding who you are as an individual. You have one movie to live. this thing called life. You're going to have different chapters and different scenes in the movie. You're going to have. Remember, we talked about it earlier. You're going to have different disappointments, and you're going to have different, mountaintop experiences. You're going to have different, valley experiences. And as those things are shaping and molding you to become the person that you need to be, learn the lessons that you need, and don't be looking at it where I don't have what so-and-so have. I don't have the finances that they have. I don't have the relationships they have. I don't have the kids in my life yet. I don't have the health that they got. I don't have the intellectual capacity they have. I don't have the relationship they got with Jesus. Like, fam, what do you have, and what can you do to be better and make it your own? When I'm on this program, I try to give y'all different techniques and different strategies on how to live that life. But fam, I have no problem telling you, I can't give you a cookie cutter example of how to live this life. I can give you great examples, but it ain't gonna be cookie cutter. I want you to make this thing you, because you are you. So I want you to make sure, guess what? One of the things that we say a lot is we love people with authenticity. We love people that want to be the best version of themselves. My question to you is, are you being the best version of you? Or are you comparing yourself to anybody and everybody else because you're not happy with where your life is? Just like we talked about that point earlier. Make sure, brothers, that you are happy with the life you've been given and not trying to compare yourself with others. And I'm going to leave y'all with this last point, brothers, as we talked about instant gratification. Start playing the long game. Okay? Guess what? Somebody can get a dunk in the game and we be all excited. Fam, that's 2 points. We still got 47 and a half minutes to play this game of basketball. Fam, somebody might have had a 100-yard touchdown. Beautiful. We still got a game to play. So look at the big picture in life. Don't just look at the instant gratification. I mean, it's so sad to me to sometimes look at the professional sports that we be playing now, because brothers get all hype about a play and forget about, okay, you just got a first down. You didn't score no points. You had a great catch. That's a good catch. But fam, we ain't supposed to be celebrating on every play. No, until the game says 0-0-0-0, fam, we got a game to play. Yes, I did a good play. Get excited, clap my hands right quick, get a couple of high fives, and then just jump on up in there. But we ain't got to celebrate like we really doing something when it was just a play. We always want this instant gratification. Fam, when you become an adult, fam, you going from one job to the next, don't allow other people to determine your journey. In the process of this long game, think about it. Man, guess what? We got a team sport we playing. And in life, it's a team sport. Guess what? The movie you playing, you're the star. But guess what? You got a gang of supporting actors and actresses in your life. So I need my teammates. And sometimes the plays that you need them to run is hindering your life. But you don't beat them up and go off and discourage them, because guess what? They didn't block for you on that play. They should have, but they missed the block. Call it what it is, and let's just move on. Okay, I could have made a better side step. I could have done a different move to make that thing better. Don't beat the people up around you, man. Encourage them, lift them up, because when they do a good job, man, and you compliment them on that and you praise them, man, it makes them want to do phenomenal other things. So playing the long game, man, leads to greater success. It really does. Instead of having this, one-time, short-term perks of what's going on in the moment, you want that long game. You want to think about and that's why I desire for you nephews to sit down and figure out what's those values that you want for you, that you can carry on for a lifetime. Can I save money and invest money and make money for the rest of my life? For the most part, I sure can. That's the long game. Can I have a phenomenal relationship until me or my queen or both of us die? I sure can. That's the long game. Can I have a great relationship with my kids until I leave this earth? That's the long game. Can I grow old gracefully, aging like a fine wine? Yes, I can. That's the long game. Can I make sure that I'm learning, always growing, trying to learn a little bit of something more about life in all these areas that I constantly be bringing up? I sure can. And can I constantly get closer to Jesus? I sure can. Fam, all that's long game. All that's long game. Instant gratification. This morning, before I recorded this podcast, I had a great workout. That one workout ain't gonna carry me for the rest of my life. Man, before my queen left the house, I gave her a kiss and a hug, and I asked her to go ahead and enjoy, shopping and doing some things she wanted to do while I'm recording this podcast. But that was a moment. I want to do that on a consistent basis. So, brothers, do me a favor. When you get some time, and if you can do it, you can do it by yourself or with a couple of other brothers, which would be cool. Sit down and figure out what you want the long game to be for your life, not no instant gratification. What's the bigger picture of what I'm trying to do to accomplish it? Because I want to have a lifetime achievement award when it comes to God. I want to have a lifetime achievement of I was shooting my best shot all the time. I made mistakes, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm human, y'all. I don't beat myself up. I give myself as much grace and mercy as God wants to give me. But it's understanding, guess what? In the long haul, I messed up. I blew it right there. Come back, ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Ask for forgiveness from those around you. Guess what? And get through that. Because in the long haul, in the long game of where I'm trying to accomplish, man, that was just temporary. That high that I had from doing that thing right there, beautiful. That was awesome. Enjoy the present moment, but also knowing in the long run, I want this to be consistent, not just no one-time thing. So, nephews, this podcast was for you, and I'm gonna have some more on here about that too, about helping you, giving some manly advice from a brother who really wants the best for you. Guys, this is your boy John Bacon with another segment of Bacon Bits. Nephews, handle your business. God bless.